Alright, good people, what's going on? So we got a little time here, and you know, as usual, watching a little Bodegel, my good friend John Bodegel, and checking out those tubes, checking out some of his video. I love wrenching, watching the people's videos, but John seems to always be on my TV, man, or me. I like watching my own videos too. I'm pretty cool, I think, you know. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, so let me show y'all what we got going on here. Let's start down here. So we're gonna start out here. I am gonna be using the Huddy break-in stand. Thank you, Family Affair. Shout out, awesome, appreciate you. I'm gonna turn this tank around, and we're gonna lengthen this fuel line. I've got some low C fuel line. That's what I had to use to get in there. And we're gonna break in the Paloma, the RCR modded Paloma right there. We're gonna get it broke in, and we're gonna order some more Bones fuel. I'm down to my last gallon. He was back from vacation yesterday, so you guys can order up. But you know what I use for my break-in: Master Basher VP 20% 14 oil, and I add 3 caps to each quart for Marvel Mystery oil. Here's my panels from the FT. But we will be breaking that in here pretty soon, and I'm not going to show you all the whole process. And yes, I will be using the wide open throttle method on this Huddy break-in stand. So you guys choose however you want to do it. I've got some really good friends, some friends that have been racers for many years that own my local hobby shop, who I'm great friends with, and we talk about this. We've discussed this, different types of break-in. You know, you got to be real careful, guys, when you're breaking in a nitro engine with heat cycles, okay? It's good, you know it's good to heat cycle these. You do your first 3 or 4 dry heat cycles to get everything moving and expanding and retracting, and then you do either a Bodegel break-in, and I'm going to say Bodegel because that's who I learned it from. I didn't learn it from Adam Drake. It's a Bodegel break-in, your idle break-in, or your wide open throttle. But either one, be real careful when you're using a heat gun, people. Don't overheat these engines while you're pumping so much fuel and oil through them. When you're running really rich like that, the pressure inside, if you heat it up too much, you can damage the bearings in these engines to the point to where the bearing will actually crush and disintegrate and go throughout your engine and damage it. Good friend of mine, shout out Elliot, he's had this happen to him personally. So just be careful, research what you're doing. I believe in this wide open throttle process, and I'm going to continue to use it for now. Not that there's anything wrong with the Bodegel way. John's never steered me wrong in anything, but you know the Woogie Nitro. I'm going to try different things. Personally, to me, it's a more efficient process. You don't have to burn a whole gallon of fuel in your break-in. You run through 5 tanks in about 30 minutes. Done. Which 5 tanks basically is about a quart of fuel. And then you do your other 5 tanks on the ground. Each time you do your 5 tanks on the ground, you're leaning it a little bit more each tank. Run the whole tank, run it around easy, lean it out each tank till you get to the tune, you know, your basic race tune. But be very careful. You do need to start out slow. Don't just wide open throttle right out of the box. You need to fire it up, get it going, bring it up slowly. But yeah, really rich, and And you can achieve a constant temperature at 200 degrees by leaning your low speed just a tiny bit. I'm not talking about 30 minutes, you know. You lean it 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, but your top end is extremely rich. Well, you still see plenty of oil and fuel coming out, extremely rich. It's not going to hurt anything to bring that low up just a little bit to keep that temperature consistent. If you keep hitting it with the heat gun and it's running at full throttle, yes, you can damage the bearings in that engine due to the extreme pressure. It's already got enough pressure in it. But I'm being guided by someone that's been a racer for 20-25 years and actually owns a hobby shop. So it's not that he's, you know, people say, well, when they did something back in the day, that was back then, things changed. This guy owns a hobby shop. Robbie owns this hobby shop, and Elliot is his right-hand man, his mechanic, and represents RCHQ as a driver, you know, at a lot of races. So I trust them. I will follow them. I believe that if you can talk to someone face-to-face and interact with them, you're going to get a much better idea of what you need to do. So find somebody, find one of the fast guys on the track, and lean on them. You know, that's what I do to Elliot, and I'm going to take his advice. We're going to continue to do this wide open throttle break-in, and we're going to do it the right way. And maybe when we do the Paloma, maybe I will put that first 5 tanks on camera to step by step show you guys exactly how I'm doing it. Okay, I'm not gonna teach you guys anything, but you guys, if you want to tune in and observe how I do it, I'll show you how I do it. But I have no problem with it, and you know how I am. I'm gonna experience different things, but I still love John Bodegel. I appreciate everything he's taught me. I just want to try this out, and you guys know that I've already done the modified Bonito and the LRP modified LRP 32, and we're going to do the Paloma. So you guys can follow this. You can follow this procedure with me, and you can follow and see how long these engines last and how many gallons I get out of them. I've never had any internal engine problems except for this Rex Legend right here, and it was due to I'm going to assume it's due to bearing failure. 9 gallons on this thing. You guys know the con rod snapped on me, and I firmly believe it was because I never changed out the bearings. And we're not easy on our stuff, and I don't run my stuff really that rich. But that's the only nitro engine out of all the nitro engines that I've ever broke in. I've got tons of them, man. Both those got nitro engines in them. I've got all these over here. All these engines over here still run. The LRP ZR30, you know, obviously they need to be repinched. This LRP, the head button is almost stripped out. It can still take the glow plug, but it only catches a couple of the threads. I got B5s over there, Max Star, that's an OS on the end. And then I've got another P5 2019 edition in the box up here, and the Paloma modified RCR Paloma. So that's the only internal engine issue I have ever had, right? Wait a minute. Okay, back up. Two issues, and the other issue was this one. I forgot about this one, people. I've had 2 engine issues in my entire nitro career, and not just 1/8 scale nitro. I did plenty of 3.3s. Had the Pico Max 26 in one of my Revos. That was I wish I still had that engine. I sold that engine for $60 online, man. Wish I still had that Max 26, but I would have put it in my buddy Cortland's T-Max. But anyway, guys, so one con rod, and this was not due to break in. This thing was just modded to the hilt, man. This sleeve was extreme, very thin walls on these bridges. You know, I don't know why that happened, but we rebuilt it right here, fresh, new con rod, new piston, new sleeve, new bearings in here, and then I did put new steel bearings in here, but I want to do ceramics in both of these. This Rex Legend's only got a gallon on it. This is the one that I still got to get to RB Mods. We haven't gotten to it yet, but we will. And then I have another one back here modified that I want to send to Rex Welch. I've already talked to him about it. This is the Jim Hottinger PX21 Nova Rossi. This is a bad to the bone engine. It's brand new. Brand new hot modded 2005 edition Rex. Is it a Rex? No, it's not a Rex, but it is a S21 Nova Rossi hot modded. So I need to get that to Rex Welch, only because I talked to him about it already and he's going to check it out. It keeps popping the glow plugs. Everything is perfect on the inside, but for some reason it keeps popping the glow plugs. And when I took it apart, the crank bearing that was in there is brand new, but it literally just fell out. It was not sealed in there, so I'm thinking that has something to do with the glow plug pop. It'll run perfect, badass for about a half a gallon. Then once it starts really getting heat saturated, pops that glow plug every time. And I've tried different glow plugs. It is a glow plug too. This Nova Rossi is not a turbo plug. It is a standard glow plug, old school. Anyway, so that's enough about all that, guys. You're gonna watch me. I'll do it step by step on the wide open so you guys can see, but I'm not gonna shy away from that. Not at all, man. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. We got a big ass knife for sure. So these are the channel locks that I use for taking off my flywheel nut, and wrapped in electrical tape so I don't damage the actual flywheels. So what I did is I went over to Home Depot and I picked this up. This is Husky. Not the best brand, but it's the only one they had. It's the only one I can find here locally. You can order some online, but these are 10-inch soft jaw channel locks. They have the rubber sleeves, sheath as you will, that go over the ends of the channel locks so you're not damaging the flywheel. This was $13 at Home Depot, guys. Well worth it. Stop marring up your flywheels. And they're actually, it's in the plumbing aisle because they're actually for plumbing when you're using different types of metals, brass, things like that. And it does come with an extra set of soft jaws with it. So 13 bucks at Home Depot, people. All right, so let's see what else. All right, so I already opened some of these. I haven't opened that, and I haven't opened that. This, as you can see, is from Absolute Hobbies. It came yesterday in the mail. What's today? Wednesday or Tuesday? Yeah, it came Monday in the mail, and from Absolute Hobbies. And it is Nova Rossi product. And it is a 41032, people. Got it from Absolute Hobbies. Actually through eBay, not through Absolute Hobbies. I guess so every now and then he'll have some that he'll throw out on eBay, and I saw it on there and scooped it up right away. So we got another 41032. We're gonna put it on this 9886 Super Strong. I think the 41031 is on here now. I think it's 41031. And then we have this 9886 and 41032 here. So I want to try and get one set of these for each one of my modded engines. These are good for 28s, 32s, or 21s that are modified. Any engine that is modified, 41032 and 9886, good to go. Alright guys, so what's in the next bag? You want to go to a bag or a box? Put this up here. Alright guys, we do have some extra MIP speed bits in here. I'm going to be ordering some more tools. Got some brand new MIPs here. I want to set for here, and then we're going to set up a actual tool bag for fifth scale stuff and nitro stuff that we can just grab and go. But I want a big enough one. Husky actually had one. It's kind of the knockoff of the Milwaukee. The small Milwaukee one was 80 bucks at Home Depot. The Husky one that looks exactly like it is 22 bucks, 23 bucks. So, and you can, there's pouches to put your fuel, your tools, everything. So that's something that I had not done. I was always taking stuff separate, loading it all in my trunk and going. No more, guys. I want to do things the right way. So let's see what we got in this one. I'm hoping this is what I think it is. So we have it to bash. We're gonna do this. It's hard to do it with one hand. I don't know how Mr. Bodegel does it. Alright, what's in the bag? Alright, Futaba product. There we go, guys. There is the antenna. I ordered 2 of them, but they sent me a email saying they only had 1 of them in stock. That the other one would have to be back ordered. But there's the antenna for the 4PKS right here. 4PKS Super R. And if you have this and you need the antenna, the part number is ANT-19. I guess that's it. Alright guys, cool beans. I needed that, man. I was only able to go so far, losing contact. So we got that. Alright, alright, alright. That was from, I think that was from A-Main. Yeah, that was from A-Main. That antenna, guys, is, doesn't say. It was like $24 for that antenna. Alright, let's see what's in this box. Woo. Dang. Why do they put it in there like that? God, I didn't scratch it. There we go. There we go. Alright. I hold on to a lot of these boxes in case I need to ship things to my friends. Alright guys, here we go. M2C chassis. The last piece I was waiting for to get this truggy put back together. It's going to be weird seeing it looking like this. You know, and as much as I hate to say the Termite is right about anything, it's a pretty good idea to carbon fiber the bottom of this chassis, and you know, you can call me copy in or whatever, but if it's a good idea, I'm gonna do it. So I'll probably run down and get some carbon fiber for this thing, carbon fiber the bottom of it. Pretty badass though, man. It's thicker, it's almost a millimeter thicker than the regular chassis. Now I am holding on to these chassis, these other two, just for spares or whatever. But I don't know. This chassis is still good for the truggy. I mean, it's not even all scratched up on the bottom. It's got one little dent, but I could actually utilize it. And the thing about these chassis is here where the droop screws go, they tear up these tabs right here really bad. And the good thing about the M2C is they have these little ball bearings where the droop screws hit, so it doesn't tear up. It's going to last a lot longer. And then of course we're going to put our on the bottom, we're going to put our Sumo skid plates right there as well. So I'm excited, guys. I went a little bit further in my rebuild, in my refresh, at the risk of copying somebody else's saying, Project Refresh. I went a little bit further. I replaced everything. Everything. You see others where they just replaced a few things here and there. The chassis. This chassis is $100, but I replaced everything from the radio box, Sky RC switch. The only thing in here I haven't replaced are the two Savox Blacks, but I can if I want. I got brand new ones. And the shock towers are still good. They're not even beat up, so I didn't replace those, or the shocks. So I did redo all the shocks. I replaced all the diffs, the diff cups, the diff housings, cleaned up all the gears. The gears looked good. Put 60K in the front, 60K in the rear, and 100 in the center. All brand new A-arms. All brand new hinge pins. Now the hinge pin holders are the same ones, but brand new hinge pins. I did not replace the drive axles, but I did the A-arms, the cups, the housings, the Lunsford. I am using true Lunsford titanium turnbuckles, not the ProTech ones. And we're going to do that on the buggy as well. So everything is good. Brand new shims, good to go. I just went a little bit further with my plastics, even down to front bumper, brand new. But we also have, we're going to replace one of the posts, the steering post, and we have a brand new stock engine mounts. So, and also in a brand new pipe hanger, RC Waffle. Now I do have the quick release M2C Chingadero right here. I do have this. It's a little wore. I think one of the holes is getting stripped a little bit, but you can buy just the top plates to these and you know, redo it. But the good thing about these is they'll move. You can move it forward or backwards. So move it backwards if you're using a Losi style clutch, and then you move it forward if you're using let's see here, if you're using, so you know I only really use the Losi clutches, and I'm going on to the 8X Losi clutch. But if you use the Novarosi setup, then if you've ever put a Novarosi clutch in your truggy, then you know that sometimes it won't reach all the way, it just catches the edge. So the M2C adjustable quick change, you can actually move this forward and backwards. Move it forward a little bit so everything lines up good. I do like these Losi clutches though. I mean the Novarosi clutch and bell. They're very easy to use. But so is the Losi clutch, man. The Losi clutch was, you know, the first real practical, you know, user-friendly item in my eyes. You know, when I first started out using the 3 shoes And you know, I was still using the max life, but using 3-shoe clutches, things like that, hard to do the springs and install the shoes and all that, and you know, stabbing myself in the hand with a flathead screwdriver and whatnot. But yeah, I really love the Losi clutch setup. And the Novorosi clutch is easy to deal with as well. So yeah. So what else we got going on, guys? I'm actually doing a cleanup of my motor savers. We're running motor savers on both the Techno Truggy and the buggy, and I cleaned them all last night, and I'm going to re-oil them up here in a minute. Now I use 2 types of air foam filter oil. I use the Klotz right here. I really like the Klotz. It's good stuff. And then I also have Motul back there. The Motul's good too, but it's real messy and sticky, ooey gooey. And this is not as ooey gooey. It still protects very well, but to me it's easier to use. That Motul stuff is some real sticky stuff. By the way, guys, when I redid my diffs here in the Techno, you know, I use TLR diff fluids in them, but on the gears, of course, Fast Eddie. Shout out Bodegel for sending this to me. And you know, a little goes a long way, but I didn't use it sparingly. You know, I used enough to where it's going to protect for a long time. Let's see what I got left here. I still got a good amount left, but I have used quite a bit. I've redone some diffs, did some stuff on the fifth scale, did the Losi diffs, and then I'll also use it. You know, they say it's good to put some graphite grease, some high pressure, like the TLR black grease, when you put your not only your ring gear together with your diff cup. You want to put a layer of grease around that, but also when you put your 2 housing halves together, it's good to put a layer of grease there as well. It keeps moisture and things from coming in the diff housing. That way you're not getting any rust or anything like that. So I use the Fast Eddie for all of that right there. Be nice to get some more though. So I have plenty. We got plenty. Little goes a long way, guys. So other than that, we are redoing these. I need to pick up a couple more, and we're gonna replace our fuel lines. This tank is brand new, pretty much. I am going to order a couple more tanks. You guys know that I like to swap out my tanks every 2 or 3 gallons. It's just something that I learned from the Nitro Nerd. And shout out Nitro Nerd. Haven't heard from you in a while. Every now and then you pop on my channel and comment. But last comment that you made, Mr. Nitro Nerd, you said you may be getting rid of all your stuff. So if you do, please let me know, man. I'd love to pick up an ECRM end bleed, even a side bleed, but I would prefer to have the end bleed, to be honest with you, because that one was recommended to me over the side bleed. Alright guys, so I think that's about it. I've been messing with my new laptop, doing some stuff, and doing some shopping and whatnot, trying to figure out, I'm very computer illiterate, I'm trying to figure out how to sync my phone with the laptop so I don't have to do my editing on my phone. I can do it on the laptop. So I'm working on that. Hopefully the YouTube experience will be a little more enjoyable to you guys. Now that I'm to a certain point, I can actually put out teasers and you know, do polls, make comments, things like that, other than just the actual YouTube channel. And I have been making a very small amount, but a few bucks on YouTube as well, and whatever money I make there goes directly back into the hobby. So alright guys, I think that's going to be about it. Look for the wide open throttle break-in for the Paloma on the Huddy break-in stand. And I'm gonna get to putting this thing back together. Did I tell you all these are brand new? A-Main still has the Badlands and the DE racing rims. I'm not that great at gluing tires, but I'm not bad either. Pretty good job. Not a lot of glue everywhere. But this stuff right here works really well, guys. Insta Shine, find it at Radio Shack. I used it on a few of my bodies. This new body that I'm gonna be using on the Techno Fresh build right here. The body is sweet, man. Hasn't been terrorized by the Woogie Nitro yet, but it will. You guys know that. But that stuff puts a pretty good shine on it, man. And it protects it as well. Alright guys, I think that's going to be about it. I'm going to get to working on this thing. And as soon as I get it all situated, we'll do a little unveil on it. And go from there. Definitely going to be bashing the fifth scale this weekend. I want to burn through a gallon of C9 and Dominator oil, a whole gallon. I've yet to be able to just run a whole gallon through this thing without having anything pop off, like the shock or the wheel or something. So, alright guys, but I think I've addressed everything. I should have my tool bag ready to go, so I'll have tools with me if not. And should have the titanium wheel pins any day now. I got a couple other things coming. Rovin, I lost one of these pins here, so I upgraded to the red orange aluminum pins. We're going to do that so I'm not losing them. I mean, I couldn't find it in the grass out there when I cleaned this thing. And a couple more upgraded things that we're going to do. Thinking about doing these rear bulkheads so we can upgrade these sway bar link holders. They have the aluminum, the CNC aluminum holders here where you can position it in different positions, and the aluminum bulkheads back here. I think that's something that would be beneficial to this thing. Still not going to do this in aluminum, but I probably will do some of the front shock tower parts. And then I still want to get this one because I kind of had to make a homemade one right there because it burnt the other one. So alright guys, and remember, over at Rovin they got the 45cc Baja. I mean, it's like $750 or something like that. But talk to them, they do have a discount code for that thing as well. So alright guys, that's going to be about it. No more channel locks with black tape on them. Been wanting to get some of these, just never did it. Always forgetting all kinds of stuff. And it comes with age, people. Alright guys, I'm going to go watch a little more Bodegel. And oh, one more thing guys. So I'm waiting on another servo. I think I'm going to take this high voltage servo out of here. This is brand new Savox high voltage. And then I'm going to put a couple of cheap Savoxes in here, $40, $50 Savoxes, because I'm probably not going to run this MBX5 anymore. I think that I'm going to get her all cleaned up. Everything is fresh. Everything's brand new. All the A-arms, hinge pins, even the drive shafts, front, rear, the ones that go to the wheels from the diffs. The diffs are new. The spur gear is new. The rock guards are new. The chassis is new. That's a brand new OT chassis on this MBX5. So I think that I'm going to get the servos in, clean it up a little bit, take this Futaba out of here so I can use it with my next fifth scale platform, and then put it over here on the throwback shelf. So these are whips that I probably will never even run again. If I do run them, it's going to be just to get the juices flowing. These things are perfectly cleaned and refreshed. So this one has the Chuggy 28.8 in there, about 2 gallons on it, and with 41015 and the 9886. So completely fresh, but we're gonna leave it on the shelf. I don't want to beat these up. And then this one has the Dynamite .28 in it. But again, also completely fresh and rebuilt on the LSTs. Oh, there we go. I just think they look badass sitting up here with the Hyper 7. My first 1/8 scale buggy right there. I recommend Hyper 7. If you're a newbie and you're limited on your funds, get the Hyper 7. Don't get the SS, but get the Hyper 7 TQ Sport and then upgrade to the SS shocks. Okay, these front ones are not the SS ones because I damaged one. I have to order a new set. You can't just order one, you got to order all four, but they're only like 50 bucks for all four of them. But these SS shocks, they're badass, people. So Hyper 7, upgrade your diffs. You don't have to upgrade the diffs because they already come with 4 gear planetaries out of the box. The only upgrade you need to do on these diffs is swap out the fluid for 50 or 60K front and rear and 100 in the center. That's all you need to do. Really reinforce the front and rear chassis brace. They're like dog bones. I reinforced mine. I got bigger, thicker ones. I actually was using the ones from the rear back here. They're a little thicker. Same dog bone, but a little bit thicker. So that's fresh too. The Mugen's fresh, all new plastics, that's fresh. The LSTs are fresh. Hell, I'm fresh. Ah, just kidding. Alright guys, it's enough of my babbling, man. I never really do these talking videos. There's usually always a bash video involved with my stuff. So I apologize for that. I just got too much work to do right now. But shout out to all the people. And keep an eye out for my next wide open throttle break-in. Alright guys, see y'all later. Peace.